Hi, my name is Barbara Sperling, and I'm the Manager of Technical Development for Merlot. And let me start by saying that this presentation was first presented at the LRMI Metadata meetup in July. Excuse me. And I'm going to talk briefly today about Merlot, which is an open education resource tool for learning and online teaching, and how we worked with LRMI to make our materials more discoverable, our OER materials more discoverable for online teaching and learning. So Merlot has been around since 1997, and in the last year we redid our user interface and our functionality to make it easier, obviously easier to use, and allow people to come to our site and find exactly what they wanted. This is just a rough draft of our homepage. You can get to Merlot by going to www.merlot.org. So as I said, Merlot has been around for many years, and we started out as a project of the Cal State University system, and over time to close to 50,000 members and over 125,000 members and over almost 50,000 materials in our repository. We have a variety of partners from different institutions around the world who sit on our leadership board and kind of guide us on initiatives and grants, etc. So as I said, we are a premier online international community. We're made up of faculty, staff, students, librarians, administrators, content developers, and our consortium partners from all over the world, as I mentioned. Merlot, in its repository, has a variety of different learning objects, 20 different material types, and we focus on open courses, open access journals, open course modules, open textbooks. And so by going to Merlot, you can do a search or browse our collection in any one of hundreds of different subject disciplines or material types, or languages for that matter. And so Merlot, as I've described, is a community, and we have, at the nucleus is merlot.org, the website, but Merlot is made up of a lot of different other facets that create our community. We have editors who do peer review. We have our partners, as I talked about. We have project leaders for different institutions who guide Merlot's efforts on their campuses. And overall, we have our members and our staff. And our peer reviewers, which number in the hundreds, are all volunteers in these different disciplines. And we have an editor and an editorial staff with peer reviewers for different disciplines who do the reviews. So when you are in Merlot and you do a search on algebra and you get back, 257 results, they're sorted by whether or not they've had an editor's review or a peer review, if they have member comments or ratings. And that's something that's real important, that our users who use these materials will go in and either start a discussion or add a comment or a rating to these materials, so people know the value of them, versus if you were to do a search in Google for the same term and you got back 3.2 million hits, you wouldn't know necessarily that the top one is the best one, or the one on page 3 or 4 is the best one that you might not ever see. And so our community is really special in that way, is that we've got many different facets of it, as this graph shows, all with the common core of merlot.org. So why is Merlot unique, and why did we get involved in the LRMI initiative? Well, as I said, we've got, it's growing now, of almost 50,000 OERs for teaching and learning. We have peer review methodology set up to review these materials, both an editor's review when it's triaged and then a peer review when it's an individual and composite review are done. We have all different levels of education. We've been around for a long time. These are just things that I've already said. And we've just started partnering with Quality Matters to develop a rubric and methodologies for reviewing these online courses and modules specifically, because in the past those have been very difficult to review, and so we're working with Quality Matters to increase our reviews specifically for online courses, which is something that's really exciting. And as I talked about, the ratings, the comments, the discussions, the QM work, it all leads to the quality of the materials, which is really the most important thing. So we got involved with LRMI, and this is just a sample of the Merlot metadata that we have for any particular one of our 46 to 50,000 materials. Some of this metadata is required, like obviously our title, the URL, the description, the material type, and the audience. But then you can add many different metadata tags in Merlot to further identify the material, the technical format, the mobile platforms. We strongly encourage Creative Commons and accessibility information. And so we went and tagged our content and have our materials all available to share so that we could take full benefit of the LRMI initiative, and our resources could be further discoverable by users who are out there searching for OER. So as I said, LRMI tags were added to all our Merlot material detail pages to make the content more discoverable, and that includes all our metadata items. Our members do rate the materials, not as much as we would like, but they rate the materials, they add comments, and on every material detail page, if you go to merlot.org and do a search and just pick on any material, you can see that there is a discussion forum for every one of the materials in Merlot. We also have something called personal collections or e-portfolios, bookmark collections, there's lots of different words for them, where we allow somebody in Merlot to create a page with different bookmarks from Merlot. You can sort them in any way that any order that you want. The collection itself is given a unique URL, and you can send that out and to either your students or a group of people that are working on the same subject, and say, here's all the materials I found in Merlot, and this is the order we'll be going through them. You can add notes, so you could say, perhaps if it was an online course, we're going to do assignments 1 and 3, or if it's a book, we're going to read chapters 1 through 4 this week. And so it's unique. Merlot is unique in that way, and besides just discovering OER on our website, we provide a lot of different avenues for you to utilize that material in terms of the peer review, the comments, the personal collections, etc. So we like to kind of think of ourselves as more than just the website. We're a community as well, and we also link out to other websites. We have what we call a federated search that will allow you to search over 20 different digital libraries at once and get results back from each of them, so you can in one place find all the resources that you need. So this talk was meant to be more of an overview for those that aren't familiar with Merlot, and I hope that so far I haven't given you too much information, but that I've provided you with enough detail to make you curious to come check out our website. So for the last few minutes, I've been talking about a material detail page, and so this is an example of one of our detail pages. So this material, you can see, it tells you about who the primary audience is, whether or not there's some mobile compatibility in terms of if you go to this website, will it work on your browser or work on your smartphone? If there's a cost involved. And the materials are all submitted by our members, and so they don't always know all the details. And so we try and go through them, the editors do, to check these things out. They've put, it's a copyright yes, they're unsure of the Creative Commons. So in those cases, we try and update the material as best we can with more information that the person submitting it might not know. The author is notified that a material has been submitted to Merlot. They get an email with a link to it so they can make sure the information that we've entered is the right quality and the right details. And so as I talked about over here on the right, you'll notice the quality box, and so this discusses or outlines the peer review and what the rating was. The user rating is those ratings that our members have put in to Merlot for this material, those that have used it. There's one comment or discussion that's being started, and that would be further down the page. So we have a lot of different indicators in Merlot that indicate the quality of a material. And so one of our features of Merlot obviously is a advanced search where you can either put in keywords, you can select a category that you want to search a material in, whether it be biology or psychology or just computer science, or you could put DNA and it will search all categories for you. You can specify the language. If you're doing a presentation or teaching a class in another language, you can find materials in Merlot that are just in that language. Again, material type that I talked about previously: online courses, online textbooks, simulation, animation, quiz, etc. And then who your audience is, whether it's K through 12, higher ed, graduate. You can specify all those things to get results. Also, whether or not it's a mobile app or not. And then you can also search by author to see what an author has done in Merlot. And finally, we ask you to include as much about the copyright, Creative Commons license, accessibility as you know. And then also, if you want to find really high quality materials, I'm not going to dwell on this a lot, but you can just search for materials that have a peer review or have a member comment or are an award winner. Every year, each of our editors picks a material that has been contributed to Merlot in the previous year, and they nominate it for an award in their discipline. And so each discipline that has an editorial board has an award winner. Merlot is really so much more. As I've said continuously throughout this, is that besides just Merlot.org, we have lots of different facets of Merlot that make up the whole website and community of users. We have a Merlot X website, which is really student-centered more than faculty-centered, that we really think Merlot.org is. We have a big initiative, Affordable Learning Solutions, here at the Cal State University System that we have gone out and spread the word with other universities across the United States. We have something that's called the Merlot Content Builder, which is a really quick and easy way to host learning materials. It also says here we've got Merlot Jolt, which is our journal of online learning and teaching. We have a variety of different APIs that you can integrate into your LMSs and other applications to search Merlot, contribute materials. Some of those are free, some require a partnership with us. And probably nothing new to anybody, a mobile search app for the iOS, Android, and BlackBerry. We've got a blog. We have discussions on every material page. All these things are ways to integrate more users into Merlot and finding OERs. And the wonderful thing about the LRMI initiative is that working with them, we've been able to really expose Merlot to more people and make our materials more discoverable. And so we have a YouTube channel, we have a newsletter, just pretty much everything that everybody else has these days, but just lots of different ways to bring our community discussions together and allow educators to share what they found and used with others and to narrow their search as best they can. And so with that, here's my contact information. As I said, I am the Manager of Technical Development for Merlot. I can be reached at bsperling@calstate.edu, or my phone number here, 562-951-8488. You can also send an email to webmaster@merlot.org, which gets to me, and I'll be happy to answer you as quickly as I can. Really, Merlot is all about the quality of the materials and curating the collection with reviews and discussions and ratings to allow others to use them as best they can in their online learning and teaching. And so with that, I thank you for the opportunity to share Merlot today, and I urge you all to go and check it out at www.merlot.org. Thank you very much for your time.